Hey everyone, welcome to another $1,000 strap search. I've got my $1,000 in singles here and I'm about to show you what I found. But before I do, let's talk about this week's tip. Now, I have already been asked, what do I want for Christmas? And that got me thinking about this week's tip. See, I do a lot of shopping on eBay, and I'm sure you guys do as well. Our LCSs are only equipped to handle so many notes. I mean, most of them do coins, so any notes they have, we're always happy to see. But when it comes to actually hunting out particular notes, sometimes eBay is the place to go. Now, if your great idea for Christmas is to ask everyone to get you eBay gift cards, because if you get a bunch of gift cards, now you can buy that $500 note. No, that's not how it works. You cannot use eBay gift cards to purchase coins or currency or precious metals. So, if your intent was to get a bunch of eBay gift cards so that you could buy a note, that's not going to happen. It doesn't work that way. So my suggestion is, this kind of sounds, it may sound a little, I don't know, rude, but when someone asks, tell them you want cash. But here's how you get around the just give me money thing. By saying cash, tell them specifically that you want singles. See, now that person isn't going to feel like they're just giving you a $20 bill or a $50 bill or a $100 bill or whatever. Now you're making them go out and spend that money to get you singles. And you get the opportunity to actually search all the singles you get, and then you can take that money and buy whatever note you want to buy on eBay. So it's actually the gift that keeps on giving. And if you explain it to your friends and family members that way, they'll feel a little different. They'll feel like they're actually doing something by just giving you cash. And of course, you just made their Christmas a little easier because they don't have to shop for different types of cash for you. They can just give you the cash. But like I said, if you ask for it in singles, then you get to search the singles, and of course you get to keep the money and buy whatever note you wanted on eBay, because unfortunately an eBay gift card will not get you currency, coins, or precious metal. All right, let's get these out of the way. Let's take a look at what I found. Oh, before I do that, let me run through the list. These notes that are here, these are my Vegas notes. These came from the Harrah's, the Park MGM. Park MGM is one casino. MGM is a separate casino, and they did not give me nothing. So the Park MGM, the Flamingo, the TI, that's, I almost said Texas Instrument. TI would be Treasure Island. The Link, the Grand, which is downtown, Binion's, Golden Nugget, Four Queens, and the D. Those are the casinos that gave these particular notes this week. So let's take a look at what I found. And we'll start off with a counter stamp. Guess where I found this one? That's right, the D, Las Vegas. Yeah, I don't think this isn't worth anything. I just thought it was neat to actually find a counter stamp that says Vegas on it. No, I'm not saving it. It's going to go back in circulation. I just thought it was neat. Obviously, it came from the D in Las Vegas. Didn't even have to write that on there. I did find a birthday note. This would be 1960. This would be the 18th of August. So the 18th of August, 1960. That's a pretty cool birthday note. It is backwards. Usually you want the day, the month, the year, or the month, the day, the year, not usually the year first. However, if I found my birthday this way, I'd be very excited. So yeah, I'm still calling it a birthday note. And then I found one that looks like a birthday note. That would be 1970, the 31st of September. Except that's not a birthday note. It's not an anniversary note. It's nothing. Why? Because there is no 31st of September. September only has 30 days. So yeah, not a birthday note, just an interesting find. That'll probably go back in circulation. Did find an alternator. Has 0 as the alternator. 4030. Oh, yeah, that's a 3. Okay, try it again. 40808030. So 0 is alternating. I found some trinaries. 0s, 1s, and 6s. 0s, 4s, and 5s. 4s, 7s, and 8s. 1s, 2s, and 9s. 1s, 0s, and 4s. And this one looks like so many different things. It looks like it's an alternator, but it's not. You've got 3 4, 3 7 4, so it doesn't alternate that way. Looks like a repeater or a radar because it starts 3 4 3 4 3, it ends 3 4 3, but the 4 and the 7 don't help it out at all. So it looks so close to so many different things, but it's just a trinary. Now, I do want to take a moment to mention that most of these notes that I'm showing here, these the trinaries, the alternators, the quads, don't carry any additional value. But I save all my trinaries, I save all my alternators and all my quads because that reduces the number of notes that I save. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to find two notes with the same serial number. Yeah, you can go online and try to buy notes like that, and it isn't really too tough, especially if you're looking for a specific number. If you're looking for number 111111, well, you can pay $3,000 and buy two of those. Yes, you can. I don't want to buy the notes that are the same numbers. I want to find the notes in circulation. I think that would be cool to do. So I've narrowed my search down to trinaries and quads, alternators, stuff like that, because that reduces the total number of notes I'm looking for. It reduces my odds from 1 in 96 million to about 1 in 100,000. Still a huge number, but a lot smaller than 96 million. Actually, that would be almost 99.9% smaller. All right. Next up, this was pretty neat here. This one, this particular note came from the Four Queens. It's a trinary, zeros, ones, and sevens. It's quad zeros. It has a fifth zero. And if that 171 would have been the end, if it was all zeros and 171, that would have been an extremely low number. Since it's not that, it's simply a trinary or quads. I put it with quads. That's where I'm going to log it. So that's an interesting number to me. That's something you don't see. All the zeros with just 3 digits like that. Can't call it a low number. I can't even say that it's worth anything extra, but I find it interesting. And that's another point I want to stress to you guys. It's not about necessarily finding things that are worth $1 million. It's about collecting things that you find interesting. That's what makes your collection yours. It's the things you find interesting. So even though this doesn't carry any additional value, I find it interesting, and I'm going to keep it. Another quad here, quad zeros on this particular note. It's got some writing on it. Quad ones, starting with the quad ones like that. That's kind of interesting. This one ends with quad ones. Quad twos on this note. Quad threes on an older note. This is a 2003A, so it's showing some signs of wear, but still has the quads. And let's see, quad sevens. And you can kind of see here some of these digits are a little bit raised. They aren't exactly even with each other. I've shown in the past what a true raised digit would look like, and that would only have partial printing of the number there. So yeah, that I don't consider any additional value on those raised digits like that. Then I've got some stars, 2017 star, 2013 B, 2013 New York notes. Now, there are two places that print notes. You can have notes printed in Washington, D.C., or you can have them printed in Fort Worth. This one here has FW, so I know it was printed in Fort Worth. What's special about these notes is that they told Fort Worth and Washington, D.C. to print New York star notes, and they both started at the same number, which means there are notes that have the exact same serial number. You can find B star notes, 2013 New York star notes from Fort Worth, and if it doesn't have the FW, then it's from Washington, with identical numbers. If you can match those pairs, they've sold for over $100,000. So yeah, you want to be on the lookout for those. Another 2013 here. 2013, starting with a couple zeros. That's an indicator that this might be a rare. It might be a rare note. I check all my stars, but I check all my stars all at the same time. If you check one star note, it could take you 2 or 3 minutes to log onto that particular page, type in the numbers, and look up the one star note. I prefer to look up like 200 at a time because then I can look up what note is rare, go through real quick to see if I have that. It's just so much quicker. Let's see, another 2013 star. 2013 star, that's in pretty rough shape. This is sweet. Now this star note, let me see where I marked down where I got this one from too. Let's see. This came from the Grand, from downtown. It's a star note. It's in great shape. It's from 2006. It's a Kansas City note, a J note. and the condition on this is just great. So I found this downtown. This is a keeper. Whether it's rare or not, that's a great note to have. Great condition, older note, quads, star, potentially a rare. I'll look it up and make sure. When we get to some of the older notes, 1999, another 99. This one's seen some better days. 1995 is our first shot at a web note. Checking over here, we can see that it's got all this information. A web note's only going to have a single digit over here, and it's not going to have the positioning indicator on this side either. So those two I can look and tell right away it's not a web note. This 95 is in much better shape, also not a web note though. Another 1995, and another 95, and a pretty rough 95. And then the oldest note in the group, this particular one, is from 1970. It's not perfect, or 1977, I should say. 1977, it's not perfect, and this particular note I found in the strap from Binion's. So that was my finds for this week. What did I pull out from my box? Well, it's a fairly new addition for me. I didn't realize I didn't have one of these. This is a 1934 $5 light green or lime green Federal Reserve note. 1934 lime green Federal Reserve. I've shown a 50, I've shown a 10. I think I've shown well, I've got the 500 that's the light green as well. Here's my $5 bill. I didn't have one, so when I saw one, I scooped it up. It's not perfect. It's a little dingy over here. You can see it does have a little bit of a crease. And you can see the price that the guy had on the note. So, I mean, yeah, I don't think I paid too much for it. It's interesting on the back because, of course, since it's pre-1956, it doesn't have "In God We Trust" on the back. But you can see some of the little bit of staining back there. It does have the full obligation here. This note is legal tender for all debts, public and private, and is redeemable in lawful money at the United States Treasury or at any Federal Reserve Bank. Series of 1934 here. And yeah, you can see that lime green color. You can really see that compared to the green of another note when you see that side by side like that. So yeah, I hadn't had one of these. Let's take a quick look at the book. Now, it's funny because I always stress about the lime greens and how that collectors actually want those. But I want to show you something kind of interesting. Here is on top, series of 1934 $5 bills. Okay, my particular one is J, Kansas City. So if I look right here, you can see the FR number is 1955J. That's not the year. The year is up here, 1934. The FR number is 1955J. You can see there was 31 million of these printed, and it goes for about 35 bucks. If it was really nice, it would be 95. But it's interesting because look above it. Minneapolis has half as many notes, 16 million, and they're worth less. They're worth 30 bucks. Kansas City, 31 million, worth $35. So I thought that was kind of interesting. The other thing I wanted to check was down here. If I look at the 1956 J Kansas City note, you'll see this one is worth twice as much, $65. The reason for that is this is the duller blue-green seal. Apparently they made less of those. Now, there were mules as well, and the mules, which means the back plate was from a different series, those are only worth 20 bucks a piece. So if you get a non-mule Kansas City note, those are worth almost twice as much as the regular Kansas City. And here they do a good job showing the seals here. I'm trying not to bump the camera. Light green next to the dark green seal like that. Anyway, that's what I've got for you guys this week. My 1934 light green seal $5 note. If you learned anything new, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like what you see and you want to see more, please subscribe. I love reading all your comments. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.